Hello and welcome to another episode of the show Talktotaiwo, and I'm your host Adeyemi Taiwo. Today on the show, I have a guest, Grace, in the building, and together we're going to be discussing nurturing talent, profession, and gifts. Hello, Grace. How are you? I just want you to quickly introduce yourself to us before we get into the conversation.
Hi, Taiwo. So good to finally have this talk with you after failed attempts. Okay, so my name is Grace, as you already introduced, and I run a foundation for sickle cell called Gemstone Sickle Cell 18. Also, I have a group called She Speak Grace platform, just like your Talk to Taiwo platform. And then I also have some other medium of expression that I engage in, hosting events for young people and seeing how together we can pull ourselves and push ourselves into all the various giftings that are embedded in us. So summarily, that's like who I am.
So on today's episode, we're going to be discussing quite a sensitive topic, I must tell you. Yeah, I think it's sensitive because it appeals to parents and to young persons. And of course, that's what Talk to Tago is about, where we discuss contemporary issues that relate with young adults, teenagers, children, and even parents of the 21st century. 10, 15 years ago, we had this notion that people went into profession because they had significant persons in their circle, like their parents or close relatives in that same profession. So it was easy for young people to tilt into such professions. And when we look at people who are also talented, you have look through their family background. They went into this talent because it was lucrative at the time, and then of course one person in the family also took the lead. And same as being passionate about a particular subject or being passionate about anything, we are young people always wanted to copy another person who was quite ahead. But we now live in a generation where people want to do what they wish to do. Okay, they are groomed into the talent that they want to take on. They are groomed into the skill, into the profession that they want to, not necessarily because there's a significant person who is also doing that. Thanks, Grace, for joining us on the show. First of all, I know you are a person who is wearing different hats. I know you are a medical doctor, and I know you are an actor. At the same time, I know you're passionate about other persons. So I just want to know, where these did all these come forth as natural abilities for you, or you were influenced into taking some of these roles for yourself while growing up?
Okay, thank you. I would like to say it's both natural abilities and influence. So for natural abilities, it's like I got to know early enough what I could literally sit in and do without fusing about. And then I found I could be very imaginative. I can think out, like conjure scenes in my head and form a perfect story within 1 minute, something like that. And then creativity. And then I found that once I meet someone who literally needs help, I am compelled to want to assist and so many other things. So that was like how the passions came about from my natural giftings. I could write. In secondary school, I loved literature, though I was a science student. And then my mom was literature, so I had to read a lot of novels and I enjoyed them. So those were natural part of the influence. But to say, okay, I was influenced by my environment as well because I saw some things and I felt, wow, this is an area I can step in. So that's influence. And then parental influence, as I said, my mom. And I think that's just it. So I had both sides.
Amazing. So as we're talking about grooming or nurturing your talents and gifts, it's important for us to understand that they could come forth as natural abilities, no doubt, and at the same time, we could be influenced by people around us. So that's why it's very important to stay around the right people and keep the right company. Although I know that environment tends to play a lot of roles as people grow up. but then I trust strongly that in keeping the right mindset and the right connect, it's very easy for a growing person to identify what they are good at and of course nurture it to perfection. Amazing.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Grace, I want to know there's an expression right now, not right now anyway, but there's an expression that jack of all trades, master of none. Have you heard that before? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's around.
okay, so it has made a lot of people not venture into things because there's a feeling like if I do so many things, I may not attain perfection. First, do you think that that statement is still valid in our generation? And do you think that people should work according to what they still hear or what they feel about that phrase?
Okay, so in my own school of thought, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like jack of all trade, master of none. I like to always say jack of all trade, master of all, master of all. So it means that you can actually achieve everything that you want to achieve. You can become whatever you want to become. There's no what's it called, limitation to your area of expression. But when you go up with this mentality that you have to pick one over another, you are inadvertently restricting all the potentials that are on your inside. So for this our generation, most importantly, you can't even cope with that kind of mentality because employers are looking for someone that can deliver the work of three men for them in one person. And people are looking for those who can be professional at the same time creative, at the same time artistic, at the same time, linguist, and everything mixed together in one person. So if you want to be employable or you want to be relevant in this generation of ours, you cannot afford to pick one thing. And it's not ambiguous to do many things at the same time and still be very proficient in them. What I like to tell people first and foremost is your ability to prioritize part-time. So part-time, once you can prioritize what is most important at that time, then you can do that very excellently. You don't have to pend or totally okay, you don't have to totally suspend the other parts of your life, but they can be pending and just be working in the background. But that one that is the priority for the moment is what you will hinge on. If you are able to do that, know how to prioritize part time, then you'll be able to, carry all your traits along without having to lose out on any. And don't go with the idea that because you are doing so many things, you are going to just be average on all. You can be very excellent at every single part of it if you know how to prioritize.
Amazing. Thank you for helping us understand that. First of all, to people who want to attain excellence, there is nothing as such as jack of all trade, master of none. And I like the example you gave about employment. Okay, so right now we see companies who want to hire one man that can do the job of several persons. It's your money that is talking for you. Okay, so it's not a disadvantage. And there is a concept that I actually coined out from a friend of mine. It's called minimum viable capacity. Okay, so MVC. It implies that you can, even if it's one thing you can do, you can attain perfection in that one thing. But the smallest, like the littlest of it, you should have a capacity in it. So, but strongly for me personally, I believe that there is nothing as such as master of none because you can do everything and you can be master in it. But if you feel that you can't do all or like you can't attain so much, the smallest you can do, let there be a minimum viable capacity. Like you should be able to attain excellence in one. And I like the example excellence. Okay, I like the example you gave on excellence that of course it is achievable and excellence can still be attained. Of course, we know that mediocrity does
Yeah,
not sell. Yeah, mediocrity cannot
doesn't
sell.
serve at all.
If you want to be great, you can do one and be excellent in it. You can still do all by
And
prioritizing
be
which is
very good at
important.
it.
So, yeah, exactly. Prioritizing which is important and also be excellent in it. So, thank you. Moving forward, I for this question yesterday, just is it yesterday or a few days ago, I was seeing a movie, and you won't believe that we still have parents or guardians who stop people from being what they want to be. Okay, so a child tells you, "This is what I want to do. This is what I am passionate about," and then the parent says, "No, you can't do this. Nobody has done this before. This isn't." Parents who feel like they can guard the steps of children around them. Do you think that this is still a part of us, or what counsel can we give to such parents?
You see, the first reasons why parents tend to be very protective is the fact that they know the children are their legacy, and whatever the children become, the it's going to be like the crown over all their efforts. And then it's understandable that children don't have so much experience and knowledge, so they would make some nasty decisions. But the thin line is that parents sometimes don't know where the boundary is when it comes to directing your child as to an area of focus professionally or in life as a whole. So if you have to, as parents, you have to learn that boundary, that although this child has been given to you to take care of, this child is also a human being with his own specifics and his own peculiarities. You will see some parents and they say they vowed when they were young that since they could not become doctors, one of their child will be a doctor. And
I've heard that countless times.
those parents will see to it that the child, and God help you, are now the last born and all the your elder ones escaped that jungle. You will be so forced to do it. And even though the child is obviously failing at it, the child loves music, for example, but no, that is your vow you want to keep. So that's like the extreme that parents go into, and it's really not good, at least for this our generation. I like to say that there is no part of profession that is more important than another. I mean, you sit there in secondary school and they'll tell you what you want to be, doctor, engineer, this, that, that, and the person that says wants to be a musician can be flogged, honestly flogged. So this issue does not even come from the parents sometimes, even the teachers. So the mindset is high time we change this narrative that a child has potential and has giftings that comes natural to them. I thank God for my parents, and they help me to, instead of boxing me to a corner, they assist and help to shape what they think or what they've observed to be like my strength. So what you should do as a parent is look at that child intently and see what is this guy good at. This guy loves to fix everything in the house. Why should this guy go and become a doctor? I mean, a doctor is not fixing wires. And so you have to now maybe give them a platform that helps them to improve on that particular thing. Of course, there are extreme cases where you have children having no ambition whatsoever. In such case, you can carefully guide them into seeing their own passion and where their strength lies. But to put it on them that you must become this at all costs, it's totally wrong. So what you will do is find out what the gifting of your child is and see if you can find ways to, or to find platforms where that child can be trained. It could be extracurricular training. A child who is gifted in instruments, you don't think they'll teach that person in school, but during holidays you can enroll the person for any special training like that. Someone in writing can take summer courses in writing. Writing does not have to be you are in one profession or any other thing specifically. So once you start building them and teaching them and tailoring their interests over the time, they will become the best version of themselves, not necessarily the was it not necessarily achieving your life's dream, but becoming all that they were created to become.
Wow, great stuff, great stuff. I know that times are changing, and of course, guardians and parents are having a different shift in mentality. And I'm also aware that there are still parents who still take these things to heart. They're like, this is who I want you to be, and you must be. So parents out there who still have this mentality, we can't overemphasize this subject. Okay, and
Yeah.
that it's important that we keep talking about it. So even an educated parent can fall into this category. Do you agree?
Yeah,
People
it's
who
mostly
teach.
educated parents that fall into the category because they feel they don't want you to go through their experience. So they want to shield you from rain, from sun, from moonlight, not knowing that sometimes that rain and sun is part of your own development process.
Amazing, amazing. Please, you are truly an African. I love how you gave that illustration. So parents are caregivers, they serve as guardian, but at the same time, you should give people around you wings to fly. You should allow them express themselves. Expression is important in people who are choosing careers for themselves and who are choosing talent and whatever they want to become. It's very important so they can grow into it. Let them learn from their mistakes. As they keep going, the mistake is made, we'll learn, and then steps are retraced. And as we move on, this we become better versions of ourselves. Great
And I
stuff.
think
So,
also that
okay.
it is very important to fund them. That's where the problem comes most of the time with
Mm,
parents. They're like, oh, I sent you to school to study mass com. You don't want to do mass com, you want to do fashion. Go and fend for yourself. And of course, you can't fend for yourself. So you just have to give up your dreams and stay with whatever. So because they have the upper hand at that time, they will use it to threaten you to stay conformed to what they want you to do. So I will advise parents who are listening, please, by all means, if you see that these are genuine interests and you see your child is proficient at it, give them real trials. You can ask your baby girl to draft a fashion business plan for you. Read it, show professionals, let them see, is this person really sure of what she is thinking? And if she needs funding, please, by all means, give support in a way that they will have confidence enough to start.
great. Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, kindly, and you're watching on YouTube, kindly like this video. Don't forget. And also, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Power Chat. Yeah, so moving forward, Grace, we are gradually getting to the end of this session. We've talked about talent, we've talked about building profession. Now I'm interested about people building passion. When we talk about passion, most times we don't really understand. We think that passion is when you go out and give alms, give food, you know, things that relate with human empathy and human emotions. So I just, because I know you do a lot of things for people, young and old, and despite where you are or your current location, I've seen some of your posts on Facebook and all of that. So I want to know, how do you encourage young people to build on their passion?
Okay, so the first step, of course, is to know what the passion is. It's very, very dangerous to have a misguided passion, because you will eventually waste time, waste resources, and waste so many things. So once you can identify your passion, and I always tell young people that your passion does not have to be something very big and massive, passion to build a
An
five-star
empire.
hotel, stuff like that. Maybe I have this dream of having a multinational hospital in this town.
But it's
Okay,
not a
fine.
bad idea.
Ah, it's a very beautiful idea, but how do you want to start? So if you have, they say the big things starts from the small things. So if you have passion to help people, because hospital is like hospitality, so you want to help people, how have you helped the persons around you? Now, so once you have the idea of what your passion is, then you are going to find all the knowledge there is to gain on that field. For example, let me use writing as a passion. You know that, okay, you like to express yourself. Once they ask for this write up on rape, for example, you want to talk about it. And you've noticed that over time, the next thing to do is to gather all the resources you can get about your passion, writing now. So you take courses on writing, you talk to mentors, find mentors that are very good writers who may not be up there like Ngozi Adichie, but who are still very good, if you know what I mean. Then get to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Write, show someone, write, do something, so that you see all the knowledge you can amass from social media, from internet. In fact, Google has helped us. We don't really have to go far to study. Now, once you've gotten all this, you also need to have the mentality that what am I bringing to the table that is different? Because what, let me shock you, what your passion is. There are a million and one persons who are aware of that passion, who are probably having same passion, even more
True.
than your own energy. In
No
fact,
be lie.
their morale self can be higher than your own. So, what are you bringing to the table that is different? If you want to become a seamstress, what do you want to bring into the fashion industry that is different, that will make anybody look in your direction? You start thinking in that light. And then you also have to know that while gathering information, there's the potential or there's a probability that information will be tailored. How do I say it? Like there will be unidirectional when you are getting gathering information. So you have to sift to know which one works for you and which one doesn't work for you. And if you have new ideas, by all means, be innovative about your passion. Don't follow as it has been, so shall it forever be. Don't follow that mentality. So be innovative. Let it be that you are the first person to bring this thing to this line of work, to this line of passion. All right. And then, of course, have the mentality that whatever you are bringing to the table must be sumptuous. So it has to be excellent. So
Mm.
from the very beginning of expressing or expression, you must have excellence at the back of your mind. Let excellence be your brand name so that once people see what you have done, they can know, oh, this one was not done by this person. Even at the time when you cannot afford all the luxurious everything, still be able to give the best of that level you are to people. So whenever you want to serve people your passion, think about it that if I'm served this thing in return, will I want to eat it? Now I'm
Mm.
being figurative about the passion like food now. So
Mm-hmm.
don't just because you feel it's helping people, I have passion to help people, so I'm going on outreach and I'm just, going like that without any plan, no order of event for what is going to happen. You just come to the outreach, you sit down, everybody's confused as to what to do. No. So you have to learn that and learn how to apply it right from the beginning of expressing your passion. And then there's no competition. You are not in a
True.
hurry. Nobody is pushing you. There's no pressure. So take your time. If you are passionate about something and it seems like the resources are not coming enough yet, start with where you are and just be
Mm.
building at your pace. Build at your pace. That does not mean you should be building like a snail, but make sure you are not make sure you are
I
not
don't
under.
understand you, Grace. One minute you're encouraging us, the next minute
No, I mean
you're
because if you tell some
you're putting
people
us into
to
banters.
if you tell some people to do things at their pace, that's when you see them, using 2 years to probably plan an outreach. That one is
I'll
not your
become an
pace anymore.
upcoming. We're still upcoming.
We are upcoming. So already think about in 20 years' time, if I'm looking at what I did this year, will I be proud of it? Have that thought, and that will help you to get excellence and better with whatever you do. And make sure your next expression is always better than your last. Have an evaluation system that helps you to see how far you have gone, what you have done, where you can improve on, and that's why where accountability partners and friends in the passion ministry can come in. They will be able to tell you that if you have done this better, if you have done this, you would have been better, and then and all those. So let me stop there.
Amazing. So now we've talked about passion, but I think there's quite a thin line between passion and talent. Do you think there's a thin line between being passionate and being talented, or they are two separate words apart?
Well, I feel one drives the other. Talent usually drives your passion because talent is like your natural ability, what you can do
Hmm.
naturally. So it's from that natural ability that most times passions are built. Every human naturally inclines to the area of strength. All right. So every human has talent, and if you can work on your talent and make it presentable and servable, it's now looked to people as passion. So let me try to define like passion will be the public. definition of your talent. What the public see
Amazing.
about your talent becomes your passion.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm supposed to leave you now with an end note, but I'm not going to leave you without asking a question that has bothered on the hearts of several people, young persons, and every class of person. And because of who you are and what you do, I want to know, and perhaps I'm speaking the minds of everybody watching this currently. Is it possible not to be talented? Do you think
Yeah,
it's possible that I don't have talent?
it is not possible. It's
I mean,
never possible. I mean, you cannot just be made and there's no extra anything in you. So if there were no schools now, what are you? If there were no office jobs, what are you? You should always know that our creator, in my faith, I believe that the creator created every single person with an extra oil, which is necessary for sustainability on this planet Earth. So everyone has a talent. You may not have known yet, you may not have discovered yet, but you have that place that is like water for you. You know, the way you put water, you put a fish in water, natural habitat. The guy does not struggle to swim, but put a fish
true.
on the ground, the fish will be struggling to live. So there's that place. The only issue is people think it has to be massive. It has to be probably acting. I can act. That's my talent. Or I can sing. Ooh, you know, that's what people literally think it is. But it can be anything. I say it can be anything. It can be as little as the ability to, come in between two opposing parties and make them come to an agreement on a particular concept. That's already activism, and that's the talent. There are people who can come in between opposing parties and worsen the opposition. All right. So you are able to do that. You are talented at it. There are people who can cook. That's cooking. You think is feminine until you give some people ingredients and they cannot make it out for you. So these are some people are naturally gifted in some things. Some people are naturally gifted with the use of their hands, as in to draw. So they can be looking at me in 5 minutes, they'll reproduce me on paper. I can never do that. Although I can start learning and then struggling to learn and I'll find so some talents come in. Most all the talents are natural. But after a while you can love to dive into someone else's talent. So you have to start learning that one like actively. But the other ones come in natural. So there's no human on this planet Earth who does not have talent. So you out there that is feeling me, it's not that if I can sing now, maybe I would have made money. If I can act now, I'll be on the screen too. No, it's not like that. Whatever you can do that you feel you are very at home with, please, that is your talent. Just look for the best way to express it, and we are already in the sky.
Great, great stuff. I think after this show, I'm personally going to repent because I fall into that category of people. And at times I'm just in front of my mirror with my stand and I'm trying to move my body. And I keep telling myself, oh, mom, the day I will learn how to dance, what I will do to people in this life.
Ah, and look at you
So
now. You are hosting a show, and we have been talking for 30 minutes. I didn't feel bored. That is a
amazing.
very, very big talent. It's not every human that can do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I look up. So this is just for young people and everyone watching to understand that there is nobody without a talent. My guest made us understand that it doesn't have to be the big names. Usually we think that if you can't draw, you're not talented. If you can't do this, you're not talented. But even the seemingly small things, ability to negotiating skill, these small small things we just take for granted. They are summed
Marketing
up in
skills.
ma- let's not even go
Some
there
people can
because
sell. Some people can sell duster to you, and you will buy it in millions. You
even though you don't need it at the time, but
don't need
because
it
of
eventually.
the words they push out to you. Yeah, I've been in that category before also. But then thanks for helping us understand that talents don't really need to be the big things out there. They don't really need to be the big names. Yeah, people are doing well on social media, advertising their own strengths. And I think I should just chip in this that when I was also thinking, how can I give out? I got to know personally that I am addicted to social media. honestly. And then I started telling myself that the moment I keep consuming content, when will people consume from me? Okay, so I just talk to myself and I'm like, okay, great. So since I go on online, I see things, I can join, I can include, like, partner with other persons so we can bring these topics into reality, and some other persons can benefit from it, and in turn, we're just building a wide scale of persons. And it's just amazing that we have to talk about this topic on a day like this. I feel it's very important. Wow,
Yeah,
we've come
I
to
must
the end
commend
of the
you.
show.
You are doing a very beautiful job. Well
Thanks,
done.
thanks,
I'm
Grace.
proud of
Thanks,
you.
sir. Oh, thank you so much, darling. Do you have a like a end note, something to just wrap up quickly before we call it a day?
I will tell you that just strive to become the best version of yourself there is. You just have one life to live on this earth. So everything that is inside you, just keep pouring it out, keep pouring it out. Let the whole world enjoy you. Let them know that one person once lived on this earth, so that the grave will not be the richer part as far as your life is concerned.
Amazing.
Find where you are strong, where your strength lies, and make sure you build capacity, get all the knowledge you can, and become the very best part of you that you can.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for coming on the show today. There was
You're
so much
welcome.
limitation, but I'm glad that this was able to pull through, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So I promised you guys I was going to tell you something at the beginning of the show. You see this Grace that is just doing calm, 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 calm. She's in our faces. Go to YouTube, search My Mother-in-Law Divorce, episode 1 and 2. You will find this woman there. You will find her and then you will thank me later. So Grace is a magnificent actor. She's good at what she
Oh,
does. And you can see her background. She's also a medical doctor and she does loads of other things. So thank you for coming, like I said earlier. And for
thank
you who
you.
stayed to the end, you had a choice, but you chose to stay. I'm really so grateful to you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Bamba Chat. We have different conversation. We are from Nigeria, but from every other part of Africa, you want to engage in this conversation that includes young people and every part of the world. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get such amazing conversations. Thank you for staying through till I come your way next time on the show Talk to Taiwo. And my producer, you're really amazing. I do not take you for granted always. Thank you so much and bye for now, guys.